Should the President of the United States be picking and choosing people who should have jobs based on whether they say nice things about him or not?
No, he got fired before Trump said a word. 46.2.
Actually, Trump called for his firing last.
Very simple explanation.
Okay, let me respond to what you said. Trump called for his firing last fall, just to be clear.
Let's talk about what actually happened. $46.2 million in losses on a franchise that's 40 years old. It's old, it's dead, and unfortunately for all of the category, people are geometrically not watching late night TV anymore.
That's Kevin O'Leary calmly saying what the media won't. Colbert wasn't canceled by Trump, he was canceled by reality. For years, Colbert turned his late night show into an anti-Trump echo chamber. The same tired jokes, the same smug laughter, and audiences finally tuned out. Even insiders alleged the show was bleeding tens of millions in losses. O'Leary didn't defend Trump, he stated facts. The market spoke, ratings collapsed, advertisers walked, and when the money stops, the cameras do too. But the left can't handle that truth. They're crying free speech now, after cheering when conservatives got canceled. The hypocrisy is wild. Here's the reality. Trump didn't cancel Colbert. The American people did. They voted with their remotes. And that's what Kevin O'Leary just exposed. The fall of another liberal empire built on arrogance instead of audience.
Do you think that they're canceling the show because this is what President Trump wanted to let this merger go through?
No. I mean, it's pretty... Look at the reporting on this. On and off the record, executives all over are saying, we had to do it for financial reasons. This is a massive show with a massive staff. It's losing a massive amount of money. This is the nature of the TV business right now. You just are not economically viable if you're supposed to be doing a comedy show that's not funny, that's losing $50 million a year. I mean, only liberals, extreme liberals, would think that we have to keep subsidizing partisan rants every night that are economically not viable just because. Why? It makes absolutely no financial sense. He works for a for-profit company. Don't you have to turn a profit at some juncture? And he's not doing it. And, you know, there's a lot of people in this general business right now who think that I exist to go after Donald Trump at all costs, but no one stops to think, do I exist to make money or not? Maybe these things aren't compatible when you cut out half the country from your possible audience.
You know, it's honestly incredible watching Scott Jennings act like the only grown-up on that entire panel, while everyone else desperately tries to drag Donald Trump into a story that has nothing to do with him. Let's be real. If criticizing Trump automatically got you fired, then half of corporate media would be out of work by now. Kevin O'Leary nailed it perfectly. He didn't scream, he didn't point fingers, he just told the truth the media refuses to admit. Stephen Colbert wasn't silenced by Trump. He was simply a host who stopped connecting with viewers. Imagine earning over $15 million a year just to repeat the same old anti-Trump jokes that stopped being funny 5 years ago. When every punchline sounds identical to the one before it, people tune out. That's not censorship. That's consequence. The reality is simple. When a show loses half its audience, no network can justify keeping it alive just because the host happens to be a liberal icon. The market made its decision, yet instead of facing that truth, the media is spinning this as some sort of political retaliation. It's not. It's business. And then, right on cue, Brian Stelter and the panel on The View show up, pretending democracy itself is in danger, because one anti-Trump entertainer finally got canceled. It's the same playbook every time. Emotional headlines, dramatic language, and no accountability. They claim it's an attack on free speech. But let's not forget, these are the same people who said nothing when conservative voices were demonetized, deplatformed, or labeled as dangerous for sharing opinions that turned out to be true. When everyday Americans lose their jobs or get censored for saying the wrong thing online, mainstream outlets call it consequences. But when one of their own finally faces the same reality, suddenly it's the collapse of democracy. That's not courage, that's hypocrisy. Stephen Colbert wasn't punished for speaking truth to power. He just couldn't keep viewers engaged in a time when people want authenticity, not scripted outrage. Even the networks have admitted that late-night TV is losing millions because audiences are walking away from one-sided political preaching. So let's be honest, this isn't a political scandal, it's a reality check. The audience has moved on, the market spoke, and for once, the system worked exactly as it should.
If you believe, as corporations or as networks, you can make yourselves so innocuous that you can serve a gruel so flavorless that you will never again be on the boy king's radar, A, why will anyone watch you? And you are wrong.
You know, Brian, we're also seeing some of the biggest names in comedy weighing in on this decision. What do you make of the reaction that's unfolding right now?
Stewart giving Stewart giving voice to something that many American liberals are worrying about right now. And frankly, I would say this is something that has been bubbling up for months at this point. Are TV networks going to keep supporting political satire and free speech at a time when President Trump's campaign of retribution is rattling corporate America? You know, there's been a long history in the U.S. of comics having a lot of space and room to poke fun at presidents, as well as the network executives who run the parent companies. But right now, fans feel that tradition is under threat, and it relates to a broader fear about institutions caving to Trump and quieting political dissent.
You know, it's always been the role of the court jester to make fun of the king. Yeah. That is the role of comedians. I have said on this show, I think I said it years ago, when they start coming for the comedians, all bets are off. Because the king he's supposed to take the hits.
Everyone should be concerned. People on the right should be concerned. People on the left should be concerned. Because it's very clear that if it is political, this is the dismantling of our democracy. This is the dismantling of our Constitution, right? And so the First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason, and that is freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom to speak truth to power. If that is taken away, if the comedians are being attacked, then that means our Constitution is being dismantled. That's right.
This is pure delusion at its finest. Watching Brian Stelter and The View act like Stephen Colbert's firing is some kind of national emergency is almost comical. These are the same media personalities who stayed silent for years, while everyday Americans were allegedly blacklisted, demonetized, or fired simply for having opinions that didn't match the liberal narrative. They said nothing when journalists, comedians, or TV hosts on the right were deplatformed. But the moment one of their Hollywood friends faces a dose of accountability, suddenly it's a threat to democracy. That's not courage, that's privilege. The meltdown over Colbert's exit is the perfect example of how out of touch elite commentators have become. For years, Colbert built his brand on mocking conservatives and pushing the same predictable anti-Trump monologues that audiences grew tired of hearing. The man allegedly earned millions to repeat the same lines night after night, treating half the country as if their opinions didn't matter. But now that the ratings have crashed and the advertisers have walked away, they're calling it censorship instead of reality. What happened wasn't oppression, it was accountability through capitalism. When viewers turn off the TV because they're done being lectured, that's not political punishment. It's simply a market correction. And yet, here come the millionaire commentators crying on camera, insisting that comedy itself is under attack. Give me a break. The same networks that have canceled countless conservative voices now want sympathy because one of their own ran out of viewers. It's not the fall of free speech. It's the free market finally speaking louder than their echo chamber. Greg Gutfeld is living proof of that. He's thriving because he actually understands his audience. He doesn't insult half the nation, he talks to them. And that's what real entertainment looks like, connecting with Americans who are tired of being sneered at by media elites. So let's be honest, this isn't about free expression, it's about control. The left has built a media world where only their opinions are considered acceptable, and when that monopoly cracks even a little, they panic. They claim democracy is under threat whenever their ratings drop, but the truth is, Americans just stopped buying what they were selling. Colbert wasn't silenced. He was replaced by reality. What do you think? Was this just a business decision that exposed the weakness of partisan entertainment? Or is the media once again using fear to protect their own? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, give this video a like, and subscribe to MN News, where we cut through the spin and bring you the truth corporate media won't touch. Until next time, this is MN News. Thanks for watching.